Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Kartik. I'm one of the co-founders of ETHGlobal, and I'm super excited to welcome all of you to the Superhack finale. All of you are watching this on ETHGlobal.tv, and this is an interactive platform, so I'm already seeing a lot of activity on the chat. We're going to pump up some lo-fi beats even more later today, and anything that you say or ask, we will be able to hear and see you, and we're not here to see you and read those, and we'll be able to reply back. So log in and say hi, and without further ado, let's get started. This is the second iteration of Superhack, and we're super excited to be doing this thing again with the whole Optimism Collective. And for ETHGlobal, our goal here is to onboard thousands of developers into the Web3 ecosystem. And we do this by running hackathons and summits, both in person and async. And Superhack 2024 was an event where we did both of these things. We had two summits here, and we kind of kicked off talking about a lot of things that are happening in this space and how you can get more and more involved. We had our first Hacker Summit where we talked about all the things hackers from the past ETHGlobal events have been able to accomplish and sharing their progress and stories and how they kind of got started. You can watch all those things on YouTube. There are some incredible talks there. And last Friday, we had the Superchain Chat Summit, which gave you an insight into all the things that are happening in the Superchain ecosystem and everything that's happening with governance, future of the Superchain, OP stack, and everything in between. All these things are available for you to now look at on demand on our YouTube. So we can encourage you to check that out. But the next hour and a half is about the hackathon. This has been a wild and amazing event. We've had over close to 1,000 hackers from 82 different countries, spanning 24 different time zones, participate over the last 2 weeks. And we're going to talk about all the things that came out of this whole event. People came in from 6 different continents, spanning all these incredible 300 plus cities. So it's always amazing for me to see so many excited people building in the Web3 ecosystem. And not only just were we fortunate enough to have people from so many different parts of the world, we also had 68 ecosystem partners, and these were founders, engineers, developers, designers, product managers, DevRels from all of these amazing companies in the Optimism ecosystem, and 8 dedicated mentors who helped out over the last 2 weeks to help ensure that all hackers get to finish and build their projects. And what we're going to do today is also talk about all the prizes everybody has won. So you're going to see who won what out of the $200,000 that are being given away. I want to thank our incredible 18 partners here who are helping make all of this possible and giving a lot of these amazing prizes. So let's give a massive thank you to Optimism for making this whole thing possible. And then Base, WorldCoin, EAS, Fractal, Metal, L2, Mode, Bugscout, Cello, Chainlink, Conduit, Pith, Superform, Alchemy, Farcaster, Goldsky, Tenderly, and Third Web. You'll see what prizes you won from each of them very soon. But let's kind of round up how the hackathon has been over the last few days. So we're going to talk about all the projects that came out of it and, of course, the prizes. But before we get into all of that, I want to take a quick second to ask everybody to take 2 minutes and fill out this feedback form. We get to do a lot of these events every few weeks and bring in people from all different parts of the world and bring in people who are new to Web3, who are seasoned and have been in this space for a while. But all these groups end up exploring something new every time they participate. And our goal here is to make sure that we improve this whole experience for the next 1,000 people that will join in the next couple of weeks. And anything that you tell us here in terms of things that were really well, things that could be improved, things that you did not like, things that you want us to continue, we look at all those things and we talk about all those things internally, and we try to implement as soon as possible most of those things for the next event. And just having 1,000 of you tell us things that really worked out well for you and things that didn't will just make it easy for us to implement this for the hackathon that's happening actually next week. So please take the time and give us that quick feedback. You just have to select 1 out of 10 on various things. How was this experience? How was this? What can we improve? And we get to use all that information to make it better for the next thousands of people. And we're going to be then randomly raffling out 5 of these hoodies that only people who filled out the feedback form get to win. And we'll ship this to you wherever you are in the world. So with that, let's go back to the hackathon. Nearly 1,000 hackers. participated and built on so many incredible projects. And on Sunday at the judging deadline and the submission deadline, we saw an incredible 291 projects submitted to this event. And the next few days were very intense because we went through multiple rounds of judging. And after all of that, we landed on 8 finalist teams. We're going to bring these teams on and they're going to demo what they built and show all of you live what their projects were. And then we're going to get into prizes. So without further ado, let's congratulate our 8 incredible Superhack 2024 finalists: Tamayoshi, QuickPay, To the Delegate, KissForSlab, CenturyPay, Homebase, ETH Drive, and DrawDash. These 8 teams are going to show you what they built. And before we get into our very first demo, I want to take a quick second to show all the 290 projects that were here that we want to make sure we recognize and thank for getting to the finish line. You took out 10 days to build something that you were passionate about and you were excited about, and you kind of finished everything on time. You submitted your project, you got feedback from our judges, you got to see how these different technologies work. And I want to congratulate all of you for going through this whole process and reaching to a stage where you get to show and be proud of what you built. And we really hope that you continue to build these things after the hackathon ends, because our goal here is to help you stay in this ecosystem and get more help and feedback and any sort of assistance that you need to continue being in this space. So whether it's introductions to judges or VCs or founders or more feedback, or even some of the partners who you would like to kind of talk more with to understand how you can increase the utility of what you're building, you can ping us anytime and we'll be happy to help connect you with anybody within our network. And just because you were not one of these 8 teams does not mean you were not good enough. Our goal here is to highlight some incredible themes that came from all of our judges looking at so many of these demos. But you should all be amazingly proud of everything you accomplished over the last 2 weeks. And there's 290 projects here, which really help move this entire ecosystem forward, because that is a massive number of cool things to see and use for hundreds of people out there, if not tens of thousands. So with that, we can go into these 8 finalists. Everything that we're talking about today is actually available for you to look at live. So you can head over to ethglobal.com/showcase, and you will be able to see all of these 291 projects at your own pace and see information around everything that came out of this whole hackathon. So enough talking for me. We are ready for our very first finalist demo. And for this, I'd like to bring on Project Tamayoshi. Leon and Michelle, welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle. I'm here to present our team's project, Tamayoshi, your on-chain digital pet game. It was inspired by one of the games I really used to love to play when I was young. It's Tamagotchi, a game where you have a pet and you have to take care of it and play with it. What's unique about our game is that it's free to play and it's mobile friendly. How to play? So first, you'll have to log in. There's different ways to do it. You can use a social login, Gmail, Twitter, your phone number, or your wallet. Here in the middle, you have your pet. On the left side, you have the points that increase every second. And these points allow you to do action on your pet. So you can feed them, you can make them nap, you can make them run. As you can see, there's a countdown for each activities. So if ever the time runs out, well, your pet's gonna die. So you don't want that. You wanna make sure they're happy, alive, and well-fed. So you have to use your points to increase the time. To get access to the transaction and the latest one, you can click on the history and you'll have all the details. The technology that we use to build this, so we have ERC-4337, Third Web, that allows us to pay for the gas fee on behalf of the player so they can play for free. We deployed the game on base Ethereum layer 2, and we use Gold Sky to have the transaction history events. And to get access to all the transaction details and code source, we use Block Scout. Let's get to the demo. As I mentioned, we can use on our mobile phone. For the demo, I'm going to do it on my browser. So first thing, you'll need to log in. So I'm going to click here. there's different ways to log in. I'm going to use my wallet. So MetaMask, it's loading. First thing, you'll need to verify your account. So I'm going to click back here. I'm making sure that it's a smart account. So it means that all the transactions are paid via third web. And another way to confirm that is the fact that there's 0 ETH here. So now I can close this. And usually I already have my pet, but if you're new here, you're only going to see a green button here and you'll have to click on it. It's going to populate stats for your pet. So each pet have their own stats. It means that they have their own needs in like eating, running, or napping. It's all different for each pet. So these points, you can use them to feed them, make them nap, or run. Here, it's your pet. So if you click on it, you can change character. The orange button is your history. So I'll get back to it later. These are the activity that you can do with your pet. As you can see, there's a countdown. And the goal is like to keep them alive. So you want to make sure there's enough time for each of the activities. So for example, if we look here, the nap, when you want them to nap. So there's 2 hours left, approximately. If you want to make sure the times doesn't run out, you click on it. So what's happening is that you have to sign to allow the transaction via third web. So the points are going to be transferred here. And you see it resets to 0. To know what happened behind the scenes, you can click on the history. It's going to redirect you to BlockScout for the transaction details that just happened 9 seconds ago. If you scroll down, you'll have all the detail related to that transaction. So if we get back here, so the goal of the game is to keep your pet alive, happy, and well-fed. So if you want to give it a try, please go visit tamayoshi.versal.app. I hope you like it, and thank you for listening.
Awesome. That was a really amazing first demo. It's such a cool, fun, simple game, and hopefully everybody on the live stream also gets to try it out. So congratulations, and we hope to have this be played by hundreds of people. All right. With this, we are ready for our second demo for this hackathon. Let's welcome Choose a Delegate.
Hey everyone, I'm Michael, and I'm super excited to present our project, the Choose a Delegate Farcaster frame. So our team, we have Laura and Andres doing front end, I did back end, and Milena was our designer, which is why our slides are so beautiful. But the cool thing about our team is that everyone except for me, this is their first Web3 hackathon. So I'm super proud of what we built, and let's get into what that was. So we chose to tackle the problem of delegation. Delegation is when you pick a person that is not yourself to have the voting power of your tokens for a DAO. It's good for the token holders because they get to present, they get to give the power without actually having to do all the research themselves. But there are some problems that we've seen, especially over the last few months. So you may have heard about the compound governance attack that was due to voter apathy in the DAO. Arbitrum DAO has had declining voter participation since its inception. And even our beloved Optimism, in the last governance vote, less than 3% of total circulating tokens participated in the most recent governance vote. So how are we going to solve this? With our frame, of course. We built a Farcaster frame that checks your Optimism delegate and looks and see if they are active or not. And if they're not active, it recommends you more delegates using the Farcaster social graph. And this is a super low friction experience that's happening all just while you're scrolling through Farcaster. So getting into the live demo, we have some Farcaster IDs here. Kartik did not know that he was going to be put on the spot, but let's go ahead. Here's the front end of our frame. If you actually saw this on the Farcaster app, you wouldn't see this field here, but we're just doing that to show a few different IDs in the demo. It would just use your Farcaster ID of whichever user is using the app. So let's check Farcaster. We hit this View Stats button. When we hit that View Stats button, we're doing a few different things. We're hitting a Lambda API, sending the Farcaster ID there. From that, we're getting the Ethereum address for that Farcaster ID. Then we're looking at their delegate using the Agora API and checking to see if that delegate voted in the most recent 10 governance votes to see if they're an active participant in governance. So going back to the results for Kartik does not have an optimism delegate. So Kartik, you got to get on that. You can go to this Explore Delegates button here. But for now, let's reset just so I can show you another example. My ID 192.336. So I actually am an optimism delegate, and so I know what the result is going to be here. But it's going through that same process and checking, yes, I'm delegated to myself, and I did vote in the most recent 10 proposals. Amazing. So from here, you can just share this frame with your Farcaster audience to prove that you're a good participant, a good token holder. And finally, let's go look at Vitalik. So his Farcaster ID is 5650. So right now it's hitting the API, checking whether the delegate is good. And in this case, no, even Vitalik has a bad delegate that is not active in Optimism governance. So what can we do about this? We can hit this Explore Delegates button, and I'll just show you what's happening on the back end. This time, it's basically the same, except we're getting all of the people that Vitalik follows and all of those associated Ethereum addresses. We're looking at the delegates of those and then seeing who are the most popular delegates amongst the people that Vitalik follows. So going back to the results of that frame, you can see we have 3 different delegates here. These are the top 3 delegates based on the 72 people that Vitalik follows. And from there, you have these buttons that you can just go ahead, and it goes directly to the official Optimism governance page. And you would be able to choose your delegate and actually delegate to them there. So we really do want to push this out and think it can make a good impact in increasing the amount of active delegations. We want to experiment with different recommendation engines because we don't want all the power concentrated to the most popular, but we thought this was a good use case to showcase what you can do with the Farcaster social graph. We also want to add direct contract interactions into the Farcaster frame so that people can delegate without ever leaving. And then finally, we want to polish a few little side edge cases, but I can pretty much guarantee you that you will see this in your Farcaster feed soon. So thank you to my team and thank you to ETHGlobal for putting on this hackathon. Super excited about what we built, and yeah, thanks everyone.
Awesome. That was a really cool demo, and totally get guilty of not being that active. But in my I'm equal Vitalik in this context, but also my Farcaster right is different from my Optimism.
Just look out for our frame, and then problem solved.
Now I have an incentive, so that's awesome. Well, congratulations for a really cool demo, and thank you.
Thanks everyone.
All right, with this, we are ready for our third demo for the day, and that is SentryPay. So let's welcome them on stage. Whenever you're ready.
Hello. Yes. Hi, I'm going to introduce our project, SentryPay, and I'm Yavon, and shout out to my team member, Chiwen and Yurong. So SentryPay is a Discord bot that makes on-chain payment easy. So I'm going to demo what is in SentryPay. So we provide several commands in SentryPay, so you can use / to find them. So first is the connect command. It allows users to connect to your wallet. For example, you choose the MetaMask, and then you choose your account, and then connect to the wallet, and it will let you sign a message. So after you sign the message, it verifies you really owns this account, and then it saves it to database. Then you can use the check connect to check if you have already connect to an address. So we also provide the faucet command so that you can get some ease from the testnet. So for example, we choose the basic polia here, and then you press the button, and then there's a receipt, so you can see the transaction on Blockscout. Yeah, it happens 12 seconds ago. And then we also provide the send command so that allows you to send some ETH to the other user, and then you can just use the mention to mention one of the friend in this Discord. For example, I send it to my team member, and then it detects the address of this member, and then you also go to the page to send some ETH to this user. Yep. We use the MetaMask to send some ETH. And after the transaction is sent, the SentryPay will send you a direct message so that you can check the transaction on BlockScout. Yeah, and we also provide some comments related to vote. For example, I can create a vote. For example, Superhack projects, and then you can type the options like project 1 and project 2, and then you can add up to 10 options here. And after you send this comment, it also asks you to connect to your wallet. And here we use the Alchemy embedded account. So it used your passkey to sign up or log in. So for here, I want to log in, and then use my passkey. And it will send the transaction on chain. And you don't have to pay any gas fee because it's sponsored by the gas master. And after you send this transaction, you can use the vote. Other users can use the vote command to see if there's any voting session happening. So for example, I just create a Superhack project, and then I can choose what is my favorite project, for example, project 3. And then you can use the vote link to vote. And then you also use your passkey to send this transaction. Yeah, and then the voting creator can use the tallet to close this voting session, for example, Superhack's projects. And there's also a result command to let users see what is the voting result. Yeah, so here's our presentation, and thank you ETHGlobal and my team members. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you for showing a really cool Discord-based utility, and this should definitely simplify a lot of people participating in all these communities. So congratulations, and I hope you continue building this.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Next up, we are going to bring on ETH Drive. So let's welcome the ETH Drive team here on stage.
Hi. Hello. Thank you for selecting us as finalists. Let's start the ETH Drive demo. ETH Drive is a service that lets you manage your assets with an intuitive interface, much like Google Drive. You can create directories that works as wallets on ETH Drive. All the directories are assigned to universal directory that manages the namespace of all directories like ENS. A directory is integrated with a token-bound account and account abstraction that allows us to trade directories and manage assets with a group. ETH Drive's interface is similar to Google Drive, so you can send, bridge, and swap your assets by drag and drop. And to enhance user experience, we built ETH Drive chain for gas fee aggregation that prevents gas fee fragmentation among different layer two chains. The only thing you need to do is deposit your Ether or USDC to ETH Drive chain. Then you will be able to execute transactions on many layer layer 2 chains without gas payment on each chain. And here's the demo. First of all, you can create your directory by entering the name and execute the transaction. All the directories are NFT, and that is integrated with token-bound account and account abstraction. That means that directories can be tradable, can contain crypto assets, and you can be it can be controlled by user groups. That directory was successfully created. Then you can see the directory address here. Send your assets to the directory. I'm sending the assets to this directory. Hold on a second. Yep. And ETH was deposited to this address, and you can transfer it to another directory across a different chain by drag and drop. Sorry. Like this. Confirm the transaction. Chainlink CCIP is used as the background of this bridge. And also, you can connect your directory to dApps. Yeah, this directory was successfully connected to Uniswap. And then also you can execute any action through ETH Drive. At this time, I'll wrap ETH to wrap the Ether. Like this. Oh, sorry. Sorry. As usual, it will be success. So let me skip this step at this time. That's how you can send and manage your assets on ETH Drive. And to make user experiences more convenient, we built a ETH Drive layer 2 chain. The only thing you need to do is to deposit Ether to ETH Drive chain. When you execute a transaction on Optimism Base or other chains, you don't need to pay gas fees on those chains. Instead, ETH or USDC on the ETH Drive chain will be used. This prevents gas fee fragmentation across multiple chains, providing a smoother and more seamless user experiences. And for future work, we plan to integrate NFT into ETH Drive and directory transfer, group permission, directory market, and right-click action, and more. The team is two full stack nice guys and me. They are not only full stack of tech, but also full stack of human. Yep, that's it. Thanks for listening. We are looking for developers still and investors. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you for showing a really amazing demo. even though the one transaction didn't work out, it's still amazing to see kind of a new way to think about storing assets and just the way you kind of restructure everything to be specific to folders. So I think it's a really cool thing, and hopefully it's going to be awesome to see you continue working on this. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Now we are ready for our 5th finalist demo for today. This is going to be a very interesting one because what we're going to do is we're going to actually try to do a real life live demo. So for this, we're going to bring on QuickPay, and I'll welcome both Ben and Kyle to tell us more about what QuickPay is. And as you can see, they are at a store because they're going to be demoing an actual payments demo. So we'll figure out how to make this really nice for all of you in the live stream. But without further ado, let's welcome Ben and Kyle and get started.
Thank you. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for selecting us in the final stage. And I will introduce our project called QuickPay from a convenience store. Yeah, my name is Ben, and I love traveling. When I was traveling to Kazakhstan, I encountered a frustrating problem. It was nearly impossible to get a local SIM card because international cards were not accepted, and I was not bringing any local cash. So I was unable to access even the simplest financial services. The only option was a local fintech application, but of course, I was not registered into it, making this situation even more challenging. This experience got me thinking, why do developing countries like us so lack a unified payment solution? Yeah, but Binance and Coinbase offer promising solutions, but they don't work those regions. That's when I realized the need for a seamless on-chain payment system, and that's how QuickPay came up here. Here's how it works. So let's assume a buyer is purchasing a coffee from a merchant and she has a QR on her desk. The buyer scans the QR code and extracts the payment details. QuickPay calculates how much USDC needs to be paid, converts it into the local currency, and then sends the payment directly to the merchant. The liquidity pool is backed by a non-custodian crowd, secured by their real-world assets in a smart contract compliant with EIP 7540. In our demo, we are using an open API QR code solutions called QuickPay in Mongolia for interacting to the merchant. So let's dive into the real demo. So here's my mobile application here. And yeah, so what are we gonna purchase? So energy drink should be like, can be suitable option since already midnight here. So we need to order, right? Oh yeah, during the time. Okay, so we need to so in the meantime, we need to get a inbox. Where is the inbox now? Could be confirmation now. So this is my address, and yeah, so the working and is converted into the local payment and success. So to home, and the meantime transaction is going on in an on-chain and sending to the so let's try again. Yeah. Success. maybe switch to this to the next store. Oh my god. Okay, let's in clear. So we can change to the next cashier. Now, sorry for there is some technical difficulties for.
This is great. Let's see if we can actually make this work now. Now I'm fully invested in. So let's try to get this.
Yeah. So now it's gonna work. Yeah. From transaction. Then. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Still, can you still see my screen now? So let's dive into the technical stuff. So you can. No. I am able to share my screen now. Right. So this is our technical pieces. So all on-chain transaction is going on the base blockchain, and for email, authentication, and wallet and gas is backed by Alchemy SDK, and currency conversion we are using Pi, and all transaction history is getting by Block Scout and KYC for we're using WorldCoin, and our ERC vault is backed by ERC contract, and also our liquidity pool is backed by the Binance peer-to-peer by the crowd, and only off-chain transaction is directly paying to the merchant's bank account. And for now, our non-custodial plug-and-play payment solution, which supports any type of wallet that is going to be supported, and we are aiming to 90 million population, which is on Central Asia. This is like 1/3 of whole American population, and also they have Kaspi Freedom and already Nasdaq and New York Stock Exchange listed solutions today they support. And this is what we built during the hackathon. Thank you.
Ben, Kyle, that was absolutely amazing. I think this is one of the most interesting and incredible demos. And then I'm glad that you were able to actually make a real purchase at 1 a.m. So this is great. Hopefully all get to see this. And thank you so much for making this demo work. This is going to go down in.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, 3 more demos to go. So let's welcome our next team, Kiss or Slap.
GM. That was an epic presentation, guys. It's Kazakh people are taking over the world. Let's do it. Hey, so I'm Julie Shi. Nice meeting you all today. I'm building with David Hurley, Kiss or Slap. So what is Kiss or Slap? Essentially, Kiss or Slap is an app that helps you meet strangers online, right? And it has an interesting underlying game theory involved and tokenomics involved. So essentially, it's an app that is built on top of the Farcaster frame that will give you a feed of different like people, and you can either choose to kiss or slap them. And while you're doing that, you're essentially gonna get token from a conduit L3 that later on can be redeemed to real money. Without further say, let's see how it works. Okay, so on the left-hand side, this is one person's feed, and then on the right-hand side is the other user feed. So I'm gonna use my teammates David's feed and Benji's feed, right? So K represents kiss and S represents slap. So when David shows up in Benji's feed and Benji chooses to, okay, I like this guy, right? And then I kiss him, okay? And so does David. Okay, David feels the same way. So once they both kiss each other, they will receive 1.5 points than they actually put in. However, what's sad is that this can get really snaky. Okay, so Benji kind of like David. However, David, okay, play a snaky way and he slap him. So he essentially can rock Benji's token and having all of them themselves. And on the other cases, if both of them kind of don't like each other, okay, maybe not, into dudes, okay, they just slap each other's and bang, their money are rocked. So let's look at the live demo to see how it works. So essentially what we do is that we can go to any channel and open and paste kiss or slap.fun and we cast it. And immediately everyone will be able to access it. And you can start playing this little fun game. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, neuroscience dude, AI. Okay, slap. Why is he here? Okay, I'm gonna do another one. Hornips, dog butler, happy grandpa. Okay, kiss. Dude, good for your age. Building, okay, Jeff Lau. Okay, I know him. He's super handsome. Kiss, smash it. Okay, only problem is externality pricing. Okay, kiss, nice picture. Okay, backseat, I like the profile picture, kiss. This is not a strategy to play, right? Because in a prisoner dilemma, I should start slapping people. Okay, sorry, Apex, slapping you. I like this picture though. Okay, but slap. Okay, so the more I play, I can start interacting with people, and my interaction go into the Farcaster frames feeds too. So other people can see, oh wait, you actually slap that guy and you rock them. And what you actually done is that you can, all those on-chain interactions are curated, and you can come here to the leaderboard and redeem the tokens on L3, and that is actually real money. So all the interactions are also on-chain too. And I really want to thanks again for my teammate, David. He's doing an amazing job building it fully on-chain. And let's come back to our slide. So why are we building this, right? This little fun, like social games? Because we have a thesis that we believe to reach mass consumer adoptions, we need something beyond just the speculative parts, right? Because when we look at a lot of games like consumer are enjoying this day, it's mostly speculative. However, when you look at like app like Pump.Fun, right, there's something beyond just being speculative because they're charging about 8% tax when you're, every time when you smash that button. So we call it emotional delta. For Pump.Fun, that's the adrenaline that's going on. And for us, we believe in building that positive interaction with people, meeting with new friends, and are the best strategy. Even in the prisoner dilemma, always slapping is the best strategy you can do. However, when you're meeting someone that you really like, maybe taking that little risk, hitting that like button, hitting that kiss button is the right way to do it. And also, since I earlier mentioned, there is social interaction, there's feed in the Farcaster, you start to interact with people, and there are group chat that are created for you automatically when you guys both kiss each other's. There's some emotional add-on. And we believe that the net positive will be the key to drive mass consumer adoptions in the future. May it be the emotional, social connections, or may it be health and more. So start playing it today. You can just join the base channel or paste the kiss or slap.fun in your channel in the Farcaster and can start playing it. You can also follow us on X, and we're gonna give you more updates soon. Hope you enjoy. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for that really entertaining and fun demo, Julie. This is great, and I'm actually glad that now it's on a proper website that anybody can check out. So this is going to be super fun, and I'm already seeing reactions from people on the live stream. So let's start joining this and putting that frame on all of your Farcaster posts.
Don't slap dudes, guys.
Amazing. All right, 2 more demos to go. So let's get into our second last finalist for this hackathon. I'd like to welcome ZeroX Nader to talk about Homebase.
Awesome. Thank you, Kartik. Hello, my name is ZeroX Nader, and my project name is Homebase, all of base in one place. So what is Homebase? Well, the idea is that with layer 2s becoming more and more popular, there's going to be new applications that weren't possible before because of all this cheap block space. And the goal that Homebase seeks to provide is the ability to view everything happening on chain in one place. It's going to get very complicated very fast. There's going to be so many websites, so many ways to interact on chain that what I want to build is effectively like a product hunt, but for specifically on-chain applications where you can find everything happening all on chain. You can interact, you can onboard, create a smart wallet, and use your first application all within the same UI. So let's go ahead and jump over to the interface. So here we can see a bunch of different things that we're pulling from all these different sources across the on-chain world, right? So we're pulling some base statistics like TVL, TPS, total transactions, but we're also pulling trending mints. So these are the most minted open editions over the last 24 hours. And I'm using mint.fun for the data on this. So, if a user comes here and they say, hey, what's this trending mint? If they click on it, they're actually taking to mint.fun where they can learn more about it and collect it. So again, it's about surfacing what's happening, right? Or for example, we have some meme coins here, right? Some popular meme coins on Base. Again, getting a feel for the user of what is the culture, what assets do people own. We're pulling this data from CoinGecko, some popular NFT projects. This data is coming from Reservoir. Again, just give people kind of a baseline of, okay, I'm new to this on-chain thing. What do people like? What do people want to know about in this world? And additionally, if you scroll to the top here, you'll see a connect wallet button. And this is actually powered by Coinbase's on-chain kit with their smart wallet. So if a user doesn't have a wallet, they'll be prompted to create one. I already have one, so I'll go ahead and connect it. And again, Homebase isn't just about discovery. It's also about using your first on-chain application and kind of hand-holding you and walking you through it. So if we scroll down here, we'll see some popular Base on-chain apps like BasePaint, excuse me, Yellow Collective, and MoshiCam. So you can mint today's BasePaint if you want. You can bid on today's Yellow Collective now, or you can mint a MoshiCam. I'm gonna go ahead and mint this MoshiCam here. So I'll mint one. It'll prompt my Coinbase smart wallet for a transaction. So I'll go ahead and sign that here. Wait for it to confirm on chain. And boom, we can see that the mint was successful. If we look on Block Scout, we'll see that the transaction did mint the NFT to our wallet. So again, the idea is you're able to interact if you're a newbie. You're able to find these new apps and interact with them directly through this website. But let's say you're brand new to crypto, you just created a smart wallet, you don't have a balance yet. Well, we also surface open bounties using the Bounty Caster API. So again, you can get started, and rather than opening up a Coinbase account, doing KYC, waiting weeks to get crypto, you can just start earning your first little bit of crypto through a bounty. So they can look through these trending bounties here. They say, oh, I like this one. I want to build the Pong game. They click on it. It takes them to Bounty Caster so they can learn about, how do I get this bounty? So again, the idea is about aggregating all this on-chain application data and all these things happening on-chain into one place that makes it easy for users to discover and do stuff on-chain. But now that we've covered the UI, let's jump over to the Farcaster frame dev tool. So Homebase is more than just a website. It's also a Farcaster frame. So you can directly interact with all these different base applications on-chain through your Farcaster feed. So for example, you can mint today's BasePaint if you want, or you can bid on today's Yellow Collective noun, or you could also mint a MoshiCam NFT if you so desire. So I'll go ahead and mint today's BasePaint. It's pretty cool. Let me see, 373. So it'll pull up a transaction in my smart wallet here. I will go ahead and approve. Boom, boom, boom. And submitted. Wait for it to confirm, wait for it. Okay, boom, and transaction was sent. And we can view it on a block explorer here directly from the frame to confirm that the BasePaint was minted. And you can just go home. And again, so you're able to discover and view all these different on-chain apps directly from your Farcaster feed. Just another way to aggregate and keep people using stuff on-chain in like a more seamless way. So now that we've talked about the UI and the Farcaster aspect, let's jump back over to the slides and talk about the tech. So for this project, I used on-chain kit for the smart wallet integrations and creating the wallets. WAGMI and Veeam for reading and writing into the chain, the Farcaster spec, various crypto APIs to pull all this on-chain data, Next.js and Tailwind CSS for the website. And again, the motto for this project was all of base in one place. With cheaper block space, there's new applications that weren't possible before. I believe we need to aggregate these into a single place for people to be able to come on chain in an easy way and discover all these applications. And the Homebase is actually live. You can try it at homebase-6.forsell.app. Other than that, that's all for me. This has been my project Homebase, and thank you very much.
Awesome. That was a super cool way to kind of see what's happening in base, and even better to have that be interfaced with a frame. So congratulations, and hopefully we get to see this in the wild on Warpcast.
Appreciate it, Kartik.
All right. With this, we are ready for our last finalist demo for this hackathon. So without further ado, let's welcome Drawdash.
All right.
Welcome, everybody.
Right. So, hi, my name is Barnaba and I present Drawdash. Drawdash is an AI art drawing game with NFTs and cash rewards. And here's the team behind Drawdash. We all have a background in computer science and we're originally all from Nairobi, Kenya. And with that, let's see how Drawdash works. So as a player, you get a prompt that generates an AI image, and your goal is to sketch your version in 60 seconds. And you can mint this sketch as an NFT. You can also bet your artistic prowess for a chance to win cash rewards. Here you can deposit an amount, and if you get 60% match, you can earn an amount based on a multiplier. And this is supported by our vault, which manages funds and distributes the betting profits to vault participants. And this is the tech that has been used to build Drawdash. We've built on Base and Celo, and we use Astia Stable Diffusion API for the image generation, OpenAI for unique and engaging text prompts, Next.js for the front end, and Transformers.js for the image similarity check, where we transform the images to a vector and perform a similarity check based on the semantics. So with that, let's go to the demo. So if you go to the Drawdash site, you can start playing, and you can see the different creations that have been minted. So let's start playing. And here you can see there are different modes where you can play for fun or play to earn. Here's where you can deposit an amount and bet on your artistic prowess. So let's play for fun for now. And we get a lone astronaut exploring a mysterious alien planet with colorful floating crystals. Okay, that's interesting. So let's start with the head. This can be the helmet. Let's just draw him walking or standing. There we go. Let's add some boots. We have a little less than 30 seconds. Let's give him some fingers. Yeah, floating crystals. Let's try and add that. Since we're running out of time, I'll only try and draw one. Yeah, that's a crystal. We have a little over 3. Okay, let's just submit. And let's see our score. So here we do an image comparison, and we get 0.55, which isn't bad. So let's go ahead and mint our creation. So here you can enhance and mint. So let's name it Crystal Moonman or something. Then we can enhance and mint. So here we enhance the image using the Stability AI API, where we use the control net option to make this image look better. And once the enhancing is done, we can actually start the minting. So this takes a few seconds, and once it's done, we'll be prompted to sign the minting transaction. So let's just wait, and there we go. Nice, looks better now. That's mint our creation. So let's confirm this, and this should take a few seconds, and we're almost done now. And yeah, we can see our creation with our score, the similarity, and the time taken. We can also list this as an NFT. Since we did perform fairly well, I can list it for 25 USD. So let's say list NFT and sign the transaction once again. This is happening on the base testnet, and once it's done, we should be able to see our NFT listed on the creations for sale. And let's just refresh that. And there we go. We can now sell our creation. So we obviously can't buy our own creation, but yeah. So that's it for the demo. And we also have built and integrated on MiniPay, where you can do the same thing we've done. You can just sketch away, given 60 seconds. And once you're done with your sketching your creation, you can enhance and mint. And once it's done, you should be able to sign with MiniPay as well. And yep, there we go. So you can sign and mint your NFTs as well on MiniPay. And that's it for the demo. Yeah, so DoorDash is currently live at doordash.attribute.io. So you can head over there and have your fun during. Thank you.
Awesome. That was super cool, and it's always fun. We get a 60-second clock trying to draw something while explaining what's going on. You did well. This was great, and hopefully we get to create more and maybe get to a version where we play to earn. So not just for fun. But this is really cool, and I'm actually very happy to hear that it's also live for others to try out. So looking forward to having more people play with this and seeing future competitions on the Best Drawing Championship. So congratulations and amazing work. Those were our 8 finalist demos. I want to give a massive round of applause to Tamayoshi, Choose a Delegate, SentryPay, ETH Drive, QuickPay, Kiss or Slap, Homebase, and DrawDash. We saw some really, really incredible things live today, and I'm still blown away with the QuickPay demo. So I can't wait for people to see more and more of these applications immediately being ready to be used by everyone in the world. Now, let's get to the part that I know all of you have been waiting for. Everything that you just saw, if you came into the live stream a little bit later, is available for you to look at publicly, which is you can see all 291 projects from this hackathon on ETHGlobal.com/showcase and see anywhere from the video recordings to even the source code for how some of these things were done, and learn from that and make it easy for yourself and everybody you know to take advantage of all the amazing knowledge that's publicly being made available to everybody. But let's get to the best part, which is talking about all the prizes all of you have won. So it's going to be a long list of incredible companies giving incredible prizes to a lot of absolutely mind-blowing, incredible projects. So without further ado, let's jump right in. $200,000 in prizes, and we're going to begin with Optimism. ETH Drive is going to be the winner of the Forkit category prize, and you're going to be taking home $8,000. So congratulations. Reaper Rewards is the vote category winner. You're going to be taking home $4,000 for first place. GovLens will be the second place $2,000 recipient, and GovGraph is the third place $1,000 winner for the best voting related hack. Schema Craft wins the first place $4,000 prize for Just Improve It, which is improving anything within the OP ecosystem. Reach Billion Users is the second place $2,000 winner, and Pop-Up Faucet is the third place $1,000 recipient. And Owl, Postino, D-Crowd, Gas Trade, and Blockhead are going to be winning $500 each for building on top of Superchain and going hard on supporting Superchains more. Then we have base prices. Microbit, Realize It, Charity Base, and Chainproof are the best apps built for creators on Base, and each of these 4 teams is going to be receiving $1,250 each. Congratulations. Then ETH Drive, JustPay, SentryPay, and FairPay are the best apps for payment use cases, and all 4 of these will be winning $1,250 each as well. And Dropcast, Basics, Reaper Rewards, and Napkin Contract are the best apps for social built on Base, and these 4 teams will also be receiving $1,250 each. Vortex, A-Sten, Gas Trade, and Capital Finance are the best apps for trading built on Base, and they also get $12.50 each. On to WorldCoin. Hotspots is the best use of World ID, and you get $4,000. Reaper Rewards is the second place winner for $3,000. Governot is the third place $2,000 recipient, and Populi DAO is the fourth place runner-up, and you're going to be taking home $1,000 for building the best app on WorldCoin or World ID. And then Repos is the best transaction priority POC that uses Rep and World ID, and Repos wins $4,000. ETH Drive and gas freeze are the two gas-related subsidy point of proof of concept with World ID and Rep integrations, and both of you are going to be taking home $2,000 each. And a whopping 66 teams are going to be splitting the pool prize. So each of these teams will be splitting the amount equally, and you get $30.30 each. So congratulations to these 66 teams. Then we have Block Scout. So many projects are winning the Block Scout pool prize for integrating the Block Explorer. So the pool prize amount will be split 103 ways, and that means each team will be taking home $48.54. Congratulations to all 100 of these teams. Next up, we have Cello. ETH Drive is the best app built on MiniPay, and you're going to be winning $4,000. And BooFi is the second place winner for $2,500. The best on-chain funding dApp goes to SeedSphere for $1,000. And Testify is the second place winner for $500. Autosafe and Cello8 are going to be receiving $500 each for deploying on the Cello testnet Dango and being one of the best projects on this chain, testnet chain. So congratulations to both of these teams. And let's move on to Chainlink. ETH Drive and MedX are the best use of Chainlink CCIP, and you're going to be taking home $2,500 each. Congratulations. On to Conduit. ETH Drive is the best roll-up on Conduit, and you're going to be winning $5,000. Kisoslap is the second place $3,000 winner, and OptiBook is going to be the third place $2,000 recipient. So congratulations to these three teams. Next up is EAS. MedX is the best real-world case application for attestations, and you're going to be winning $3,000. Postino is the second place $2,000 winner, and Verdict Vault is the third place $1,000 winner. SchemaCraft is the best attestation developer tool project, and you're going to be taking home $2,000 for yourself. Reaper Rewards is the second place $1,250 winner, and EAS React Components is going to be receiving $750 for coming into third place for building the best attestation developer tool. Next up is Fractal. Floxy SFrax ETH Vault is the best Fracture related project. You're going to be taking home $5,000. The interop layer is the second place $3,000 winner, and Token Wizard is going to be taking home $2,000 for coming in third for the best Fracture related project. On to Metal L2. For Lulz is the most interesting smart contract deployed on Metal, and you're going to be receiving $1,000. Congratulations. Next up is Mode. Yield Hive and Shared Liquidity Dex are going to be receiving $1,000 each for the best DeFi app on Mode. Then we have TLDR AI and Web3 Agent 3.0, and both of you are going to be receiving $1,250 each for the best AI and DeFi integration. And CenturyPay is the best UX UI in DeFi category winner for $500. Congratulations, CenturyPay. Next up is Pyth. The most innovative use of Pyth Oracle goes to these 5 teams. So FightNight.fun, Optionism, Yield Hive, Reach Billion Users, and SuperX App are all going to be receiving $1,500 each. And then Superwalk, Granted, Pixel L3, and Verdict Vault are going to be receiving $625 each for the most innovative use of the Oracle for the entropy category. Next up is Superform. Blue Finance is the best ERC 4626 Vault implementation. You're going to be taking home $4,000. Yield Hive is the second place $2,500 recipient, and Mech Vault is the third place $1,000 winner. And then QuickPay is also the best ERC 7540 Vault implementation winner. So you're going to be taking home $2,500. Congratulations. Then we have Alchemy, and Microbit is the best consumer app built on Alchemy's embedded accounts, and you're going to be receiving $2,500. Super Solar is the second place $1,500 winner, and Art Fusion is going to be taking home $1,000 for coming in third. For Farcaster, AI Frames Creator is the best use of frames for $2,500. Dropcast is the second place $1,500 winner, and $1,000 is going to go to ETH Drive for coming in third for the best use of frames. Next up is Gold Sky. ETH Drive is the best use of Gold Sky and seems to be a very recurring theme, which is awesome. Capital Finance is the second place $1,500 winner, and BooFi is coming in third, and you'll be taking home $1,000. Then we have Tenderly. ETH Drive, Yield Hive, Swift Yield, and LucyBot are going to be taking home $1,250 each for building a dApp with virtual testnets. So congratulations for using Tenderly for this. And last, we have ThirdWeb, and ClickPaid is the best consumer app built using ThirdWeb's SDKs, and you're going to be receiving $2,500. And Tower Defense Game is the best on-chain game built using the ThirdWeb SDKs, and you're also going to be receiving $2,500 each. Those were all of our winners. You can now see all these prizes and the projects and everything about yourself or anyone else's team directly on our showcase. And if you're a hacker, you can also just go on to your own hacker dashboard and see the total amount you have won in prizes. A quick note on all these prizes is that everything that we just announced is tentative and not final, which means that we'll be verifying all code bases before sending all the prizes, and that takes a few weeks. And that means if somebody is found to be violating the event rules or found guilty of cheating, that their prize will be revoked. And for something like a pool prize where somebody is removed, the amounts will change because that number will change based on the number of teams that qualify. And there might be some prizes that are in the KYC category where you would have to give us some compliance-related requirements to receive the prizes. So if you are in one of those groups, you'll get that additional context given to you. And the timeline for all the prizes and all the stakes is September 6th. So that gives us about 3 weeks to process everything, and we will be following up with all of you over email in about 2 weeks to verify everything on the total amounts, to which addresses you want to receive these prizes on, and everything in between. So hang tight, and you'll get all that delivered to you by September 6th. Now, before we wrap everything off, we want to say a few thank yous to the incredible amount of people who've done so much work behind the scenes to make these events possible. And there's so many groups that help make events at this scale really, really work. So I want to thank everybody here, starting with all of you amazing hackers. 1,000 of you came in from 80 different countries and spent 2 weeks with us to build something that you were excited about. And we can't thank you enough for taking the time to build something and put time and effort into trying something and experimenting with all the new things that are happening in Web3. I want to thank all of our amazing judges who took the time to do live calls and give feedback to so many of these teams here and encourage them to continue building. So many mentors and volunteers that did so much work behind the scenes to help make sure everybody has the right help and support, and doing this across time zones so that there is never a moment where somebody is left hanging. So many speakers who gave workshops, talks, and were part of our summits to encourage and share about what's happening in the Optimism collective ecosystem, and all these amazing 80+ partners who helped do so much work behind the scenes to ensure that you have the best experience for a hackathon like this. So thank you to all of our amazing partners. And last but not least, I want to give a massive shout out to the ETHGlobal team, who has done so much work in the background that makes you have this awesome, flawless experience. So I want to give a shout out to Alex, George, Richa, Sophia, Calvin, Maggie, Nuno, Fred, Huichi, Anna, Moaz, Emily, Andrew, Jacob, and Liam for putting everything together that you all get to experience. And if you are interested in joining the ETHGlobal team, we are looking for a few more engineers to join our team, along with a couple other roles that are now available on our website. You can head over to ethglobal.com/careers and learn more about the open roles and be part of this global movement. So We talked about all the prizes. We saw some incredible demos, but let's get back to those 8 teams. 8 finalists came in and demoed what they built, and we saw some of them also received a lot of prizes from our partners. But when we call somebody a finalist, we want to highlight some really, really incredible themes and projects that are coming out of our entire ecosystem. And we call them finalists because we don't want to structure ETHGlobal events to be competitions, so there's no notion of first, second, third. The goal here is to help get more people in, not keep the ones who are in to be in a more elite elevated standard. And that means we care about bringing everybody into this ecosystem more through showing what's all happening from the smartest and the best developers in this space. And they're called finalists because effectively all 8 of these teams came in first for Superhack 2024. And that means in addition to anything else they may have won from our partners, ETHGlobal will be adding more to this pool for those 8 teams. So in addition to those prizes, every team member for each of the finalists will get 500 USDC from ETHGlobal on top. So congratulations to all of the finalists, but that is not everything. I am super excited to introduce a special pack for all of our Superhack finalists, and that is the Superhack Finalist Pack, which means that in addition to all the things that they've got, we're going to throw in a lot more cool perks for all of the finalist teams here. And that means each finalist will also be receiving a exclusive finalist only hoodie, which only these members will have. It'll just be shipped to you wherever you are in the world. And this will be given out to every member on the team. For the ETHGlobal faucet, you get an automatic 10x multiplier, so you can redeem 10 times the daily amount of testnet tokens from 14 to 17 different chains. And we're going to continue adding more chains, so you never have to worry about building something on testnets in any chain in this ecosystem. You also get free entry to all Pragma events in 2024. We have a lot more things happening in person for the rest of the year. There's 3 more events that are going on, and you get to come in without having to need to buy a ticket, and you can show up anytime. Each of the finalists will also be getting a custom developer Ledger Nano S Plus, and this will also be shipped to you for being an amazing finalist team. And we will be giving you a $500 flight reimbursement to come to any of our next upcoming in-person hackathons so that you can come build with us and also meet the rest of the ecosystem in person. So you get to come and fly to any of our upcoming 3 hackathons, and that is Singapore, San Francisco, and Bangkok in September, October, and November. So you can go on ethglobal.com/packs. The finalists will be able to mint this very shortly, and everybody else watching, if you hacked, you also are eligible for a few other packs, and you get to take advantage of that immediately by heading over and building and minting the Hacker Builder or Pioneer pack. And if any of our partners or volunteers or mentors or speakers is listening too, there's a pack for you as well. So go head over to ethglobal.com/pack and mint the ones that you qualify for. And we'll be adding more and more things very soon to it. And last but not least, I want to end off by telling you about what's upcoming. So we have a few more hackathons left for this year. And I want to give a quick intro to the 3 that are upcoming, starting with Singapore as our next hackathon. ETHGlobal Singapore is happening on September 20th in Singapore. So if you are in Asia, we welcome all of you to come and say hi to all of us. It's going to be a massive event in an incredible venue, and you can check out everything on our website for this. Then we're going to do a really, really big hackathon in San Francisco, bringing everybody in tech to build on blockchains. And this is happening on October 18th in San Francisco. And our last in-person hackathon of the year is going to be ETHGlobal Bangkok in Thailand, right at the end of DEF CON. If you're going to be in Southeast Asia, this is the event to check out and probably in line to be one of our biggest events of the year. So November 15 to 17 is going to be Bangkok. And we have an upcoming async hackathon, which is ETH Online, our biggest and our flagship async event that starts next Friday and goes on for 2 weeks. So if you had fun with Superhack, there's way more things coming for ETH Online, and that starts next Friday. So you can sign up for all these things directly right now, whether it's the in-person hackathons or the async ones, by heading over to ethglobal.com And we hope to see you in so many of these events later this year. And for everybody joining in remotely, we want to be there in your part of the world, so we get to make it easy to have all of you see and collaborate with each other. So we'll come to you this year or in the future ones, and looking forward to meeting a lot of you in person very soon. So with that, I want to thank everybody for participating in Superhack 2024. We look forward to seeing you again next week for ETH Online and in person upcoming in a few weeks in Singapore. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Enjoy some lo-fi beats in the meantime, and goodbye.